help the stream. I think I fixed the problems that I had last time. So I fixed the bitrate. So I think hopefully that will help it. Hi. Oh my gosh. I am so bad at this chat thing. Okay. But yeah, so I think I fixed it. I fixed the bitrate, so I think it's okay. Yeah, okay, cool. And then I was checking it on my phone to make sure the live was working, which it is. And it looks like I'm doing good so far with the streaming. So yay. Okay, awesome. Well, hello. So yes, it is officially 6:30. And for the occasion today, I am wearing my Dean hoodie. I don't know how much of it you can see, but yes, this is one of my favorite hoodies. All right. So it is 6:30, so we are going to get started. All right, so let me go up. I have like a whole outline. Okay, anyway. So hello. My name is Liz Ashley, and welcome to Wayward Spirit Pod, where we talk about all things supernatural and the supernatural family. And today we are going to be talking about the funniest supernatural episodes and then rank them. The monster of the week, which is Hellhounds, and then some fandom news, even though there wasn't that much this week. But what do you say? Do you want to join me on the hunt? All right. So, also, if you want to stay up to date with everything Wayward Spirit Pod, you can follow me on Twitch. Yes, I'm so excited to be on here. And then Wayward Spirit Media on Instagram. But yes, so let's talk about what's going on in the supernatural fandom. So like I said, there was not much going on this week. Like, not a whole lot. Not really. So, except for like the Dallas Con. The Dallas Con was last weekend, and I keep seeing like pictures from it, and they're so cute. I miss going to conventions. There was like a couple months there when I was going to like conventions back to back, and like, yes. And now I haven't been to one in like a couple months, and it's sad. So I miss it. But yeah, hopefully everything's okay. If like the volume and everything, if it's not, just let me know. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I get like nervous that it's not working because like I can't see it, and so I get nervous. But anyway, so I did see a lot of cute pictures on Instagram, and this may be a spoiler alert if you have not seen season 15, but like the position finale, I think everyone has seen the pictures of them doing like the you know, the barn scene at the end of I hate saying what happened because I don't want to like spoil it, but I know most people have seen season 15, but I don't know, I just hate saying it. But anyway, you know, when Dean gets hit with a nail or whatever, and Sam's like there and they're like kind of holding each other, they keep redoing that in like the con photos, and someone made like a meme where it had all 4 of the pictures of like different times that they've done it at different cons, and they're like each time they do it they get more intimate, and I was like, oh, that's just so cute. They're so cute. I love Jensen and Jared. They're just the cutest, honestly. All right. Yes. And then there's also a picture, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a picture where Jared is like in the camera's face, like you can't even really see Jensen and the other, like the person who's taking the picture, because like Jared's face is like all up in the camera, and I don't know why, but I just think it's the funniest picture ever. And I want to know like whose picture was that he just like, it probably was like a Jensen photo op, and then Jared just kind of like, you know, came in. That would have been so funny. Oh my gosh. It's like my favorite con pic ever. Like, I love it. It's my favorite con pic. I'm in love with that picture. And then Alex dyed his hair blonde. I didn't realize that until, I don't know why. I saw a couple pictures of him. Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh my gosh. It is the funniest picture ever. Like, literally, Jared's face, I'll send it to you. Jared's face is just like in the camera, and it's so funny because it just, I don't know, like I want to know what happened. Like I want to know the story behind that picture because it's hilarious. Um but yes, Alex dyed his hair blonde and it looks so cute. And I didn't notice it at first. Like I had seen a couple pictures of him at the con, but I didn't realize he dyed his hair blonde. And then I was like, oh my gosh, he did. He dyed his hair blonde. And it looks really good. I wonder if he did it like, because I mean, it's like blonde. And I wonder if he did it for like a role or if that was just like he just wanted to dye his hair like platinum blonde. I don't know. It looks cute though. I like it. I think it looks really cute. Also like honest moment, I just want to talk about Alex for a second. So when Jack first came into the picture, I really didn't like, it's not that I didn't like him. I liked his character. I just wasn't like, he just wasn't one of my favorite characters. Like I wasn't super attached to Jack. And I know that may be like an unpopular opinion. But seeing Alex at cons just made me love him so much. And now I'm like, oh my God, I love Jack. And I know that sounds weird, but like Alex is he's just so cute and sweet in his panels, and he's just so down to earth. And okay, am I having like sound issues? I'm wondering. Sorry. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit. Sorry. I thought I was having technical issues with my, oh, you know what it is? Oh my gosh. So I have my water bottle, and this happens when I have like Zoom meetings at work. If things get too loud, you can hear it like ringing. It's so weird. But anyway, yeah, I know, right? So like I was never like super attached to Jack in the beginning, and not that I didn't like him, like I like him. I just, yeah, it was just like not something. I was just like, oh, okay, it's a new character, like, because I kind of thought the storyline was weird at first, honestly, if I'm being completely honest. I kind of thought the storyline was weird at first, and I was like, I don't know if I like this. I grew to like it. I like the storyline now because I love Alex and I love Jack. But seeing Alex at cons, I think made me closer to liking Jack and like liking Alex, because he is just the nicest, sweetest, like most down to earth person. Like his panels are so funny. He is like the cutest, most adorable person ever. Like he's amazing. And so yeah, so now I love Alex. He's like one of my favorite people now. Which is great because he's awesome. So yes. Just thought I'd be honest about that for a second. All right. So I also saw a really cute thing on Instagram the other day. So Julie McNeven, I think that's how you say it. She was Anna. And Anna, that was her name, right? The angel? That was her name. Anyway, I think so, right? I always second guess myself. But anyway, she sends Sam Smith pictures of her child in a car seat that actually Sam Smith gave to her, that her kid used to use. And so now now Julie sends Sam all these pictures of her kid in her seat, and I'm just like, that's so cute. They're cute. You're gonna have to check their Instagrams because I feel like that was a horrible description of what was going on. But yeah, Julie just sends her pictures all the time, and I'm like, that's the cutest thing ever. They're so cute. And I just love, like, I guess the reason I'm so attached to Supernatural is because, like, you can tell that the cast is, like, they're actually friends, and they actually they're actually like a little family, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever. And I just love it because, like, then it bleeds into the fandom, and we're a family. I firmly believe that. Because I've met so many cool people at cons that I'm still friends with. And so, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yes. I just think it's so cute because I just love how much they all love each other. And it just makes me so happy. And then the other thing is Gish is coming up. And I haven't done Gish in a couple of months. I honestly, I accidentally became the captain of a group a few months ago, and it was when I was like traveling a lot, and I totally like messed it up. Like I totally did not do what I was supposed to do, and I felt so bad, and I didn't realize it, and I was just like, oh my God. And so I haven't done Gish since then because I felt bad. But now I don't know, I might do it this time. Gish is really fun if no one's done it before, but I haven't done it for a while, but I really should do it again because it is a lot of fun. Just not as a captain, because I obviously cannot handle that type of responsibility. There's really not that much to go into it. I was just so I was not with it that week. But anyway, Gish is a lot of fun, and that's coming up. So I think I'm going to do that. Hopefully, we'll see. Yes. All right. Okay. So now we are going to get into the fun part, because yeah, there wasn't a ton of supernatural news this week. So yeah. There's not a lot of supernatural news this week, and like I haven't seen videos or anything about like what was talked about in the panels. Like I know it's like people post that stuff. Like I posted some of it for like the Nashville and New Orleans con, but I haven't seen anything about like what was said in panels yet. So I'm not really sure like what was said, because you know sometimes really cool stories come out of panels. So we'll see. I'll update you all on the panels if people start posting about it. But anyway, excuse me, sorry, I had to burp. I know that's gross. But anyway, so yeah, there wasn't that much news this week. So we are going to get into the funniest episodes of Supernatural, and we are going to rank them. And I'm very excited because there are so many funny episodes on this list. And some of them I literally forgot about. I was like sitting here trying to think of all the funny episodes. And I did have to like look it up a little bit because I was like, man, I forgot about a lot of different episodes that are just hilarious. Not all of them made it on this list. Because there are some that didn't make it on this list that are considered funny, but they're not like my favorite funny ones. So they didn't make it. But a good amount made it. So it's going to be super exciting. And all right. So what do you think? I want to know what you think is the funniest episode of Supernatural. Let me know in the chat or the comments, because I think it'd be fun to see like who's everybody, like what is everybody's favorite funny episode of Supernatural. Yes, because there are so many. Like I forget how many there are. There are so many. All right. So I haven't decided how I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, or if I'm going to go backwards. Let's see. I'll go backwards. Okay, so I have 16 episodes in my list, and the 16th one is Phantom Traveler. Now, that one is all the way back in season 1. It is the 3rd episode. No, it's the 4th episode. It's the 4th episode. And I just watched it. And that's why it's on here, because I forgot that it was so funny. Phantom Traveler. Okay, of course, now I'm having issues. It's because I have another window open. Yes, okay. Now I'm having streaming issues. I see it. But it tells me when I'm having issues. And it has like these little bars. And it's red right now. So I know I'm having issues. And I think it's because I have this open. So I'm going to read the chat and hopefully it'll get better. There are so many. I don't know which is my favorite. Yeah, there are more than I thought there would be. Oh my gosh. This is okay. Now it's better. Okay. I just have a lot of windows open because I have like the different wiki pages, the different Supernatural wiki pages open for each episode. Okay. Anyway, I'll go from memory on this one because it's messing up the streaming quality. Okay, so Phantom Traveler. I just watched Phantom Traveler yesterday, and it is such a good episode, and I feel like it's such an underrated episode that people don't really talk about. But it is such a good episode. Like Phantom Traveler, it's so funny, and it's back when like Dean was just like hilarious because he hadn't gone to hell yet. And it's just, I just love Phantom Traveler. It did make it last on the list though, because I don't think it's like because it's not considered like a funny episode, you know? Like, I feel like there are certain episodes of Supernatural that are like specifically made to be funny, and I don't think Phantom Traveler was, because there's still like a lot of like lore and a lot of like stuff in it, but it's just like, it's really, really funny because it's the first time that they dress up as cops, and then they like almost get caught. And then Dean on the plane, like that is when Dean was on the plane and he was so scared, and he was like humming, wasn't it it was Metallica, right? He was humming Metallica and he's like, it calms me down. And oh my gosh, it was so funny. It's a hilarious episode. But yeah, I just watched that the other day. And so, yeah, oh my gosh, it's so funny. And then Dean's face when they're like about to crash or might crash, and he's like up against the like wall of the airplane. He's just like, ah, yes, it's a hilarious episode. Hilarious. But I feel like it's a very underrated episode, and so I had to put it on here. But yes, Phantom Traveler is one of my most favorite episodes of Supernatural. It's just so good. It's so good. Okay, and then number 15 is, I think it's, let's see. I put Moira, but I just want to make sure that it's the right one, because... Oh, okay, yeah, this is it. So remember when they put Jack in like a box, and okay, the stream is messing up again. Okay, here we go. Remember when they put Jack in a box, and it was like the box that Dean was going to put himself in when he was Michael, and then Jack broke out of it, and he got out and he was like walking around, and he was mad because everybody was lying. And so he got really mad, and he said, everybody stop lying. And then everybody stopped lying, and they had to tell the truth. And then they went, and this was like in season 14. So this was like a little, this wasn't that long ago, but it's so funny. It's one of my favorite episodes, because they just like, they walk into this like office looking for Jack, and then Dean like is like, we're not really, we're not really cops. And then he's like, why did I just say that? And then I love that episode so much, and it's such a good episode, and I really need to watch it again. Because I haven't watched that much because it's in season 14, but oh my gosh, Moira is a great episode. All right, and he said, that's my favorite part. Dean's facial expressions live in my head rent free. Yes. Oh my gosh, Jensen Ackles is so good at facial expressions. Like he makes the perfect facial expressions like all of the time. It's insane. Like, you just like watch him, and he's just like so good at acting. It's insane, which is why I'm so excited to see him in The Boys. I really, really am, because I can't wait to see like him as a superhero and a villain. I can't wait, because I bet he's gonna be amazing at it. Yes. All right, and then number 14 is regarding Dean. Now, this is a very funny episode, but I put it as 14 because it's also really sad. It's also so sad because, like, so regarding Dean is the episode where he has like this spell on him, and he like starts forgetting everything. And it's so funny because like he forgets the lamp, and he forgets like everything, and he's like super nice to Rowena, because this is when they didn't like Rowena, and he was like super nice to Rowena, and Rowena's like, can't we just keep him like this? And it was just so funny. And he's like, we kill monsters. Oh my gosh, regarding Dean is a funny episode, but then it gets really, really sad at the end. It's like, oh my gosh, and he's like, I don't remember, and it's like, oh my god. Oh, yes, I love that episode, and it is really funny, but it's also like really devastating, and so that's why it's not high up on the list, because though it's really funny, it also like makes you cry. So funny how Supernatural can do that in one episode. Supernatural packs so much emotion in all of their episodes. It's all of their episodes. It's wild. It's wild. All right, and then number 12 is Ghostfacers. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. It's messing up again. Yes, I know. The stream is messing up. Okay. I gotta exit out of some of these windows. I have a lot of windows open to go through all of the different episodes, but now I'm just doing the episodes from memory because it's messing up the streaming quality. All right, so Ghostfacers. So yes, Ghostfacers, this is when we meet the Ghostfacers, and I love the Ghostfacers. They are some of my favorite characters. Okay, sorry. I know the stream is messing up again, and that's why I'm like, okay. All right. All right, I know the stream is messing up, so I'm gonna wait a second. Okay, yes. So Ghostfacers is I love the Ghostfacers. I think they're one of the funniest like storylines in Supernatural. I love every time they bring them back because I just love the Ghostfacers. I think they're amazing. They're so funny. And it's just so idiotic that it's funny because like here they are, they're like ghost hunters and they get so scared. And it's so funny. And yeah, I love the Ghostfacers, and so I think Ghostfacers is number 13. I didn't like rank it at the top even though it's really funny because I feel like there are like other funnier episodes that deserve more attention. But Ghostfacers, I love them. They're some of my favorite people in Supernatural. I think they're underrated too. I really do. I think it's such an amazing storyline. All right. And then number 12 is Wishful Thinking. Yes. The Ghostfacers are great. Yes, they are. They're amazing. Oh my god, they're so funny. All right, yes. So 12 is Wishful Thinking. This is the one where they have... Now, this is like one of the episodes that was meant to be just like outright, just ridiculously funny. So this is like the wishing well one where everyone just like made a wish in a town and like everything came true. Oh my gosh, and it's so funny. I love when they think it's like Bigfoot and they're like, no, Bigfoot isn't real. It couldn't be Bigfoot. And then it's like the big giant teddy bear. And then the teddy bear is so sad all the time, and it's, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. That is wishing well. Oh my god, wishful thinking. That's what it's called, wishful thinking. It is one of the funniest episodes ever. Oh, I love it. I put it a little low on the list though because like it's not my favorite funny episode, even though it's really, really good. You're like, yes, this is one of your favorite episodes ever. Yeah, it's such a good episode. I do tend to forget about it sometimes though, like when I think back on like my favorite episodes, I'm like, oh yeah. It is such a good episode though, and it's so funny, and it's meant to be so funny, and I love it. All right. And then number 11 is Yellow Fever. And I had to put this one in because this is the one where Dean gets like scared at everything, and the cat like comes out. Remember when it was like a cat or something and he screamed like bloody murder, and it's the funniest thing in the world. Another instance where Jensen Ackles just has like the best reaction and like facial expressions ever. It's so funny. And then I think this is also the one where like at the end he does Eye of the Tiger. Yes. Oh, you said you think Yellow Fever might be your favorite funny episode? Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. And actually, I hate to say it, but this is one of the ones I forgot in the beginning when I was like brainstorming my favorite funny episodes. And then like I kind of like looked some episodes up and I was like, oh yeah, because I love the Eye of the Tiger part. I think that's my favorite part, even though it's not like really a part of the episode. I just think it's so funny. Eye of the tiger. And he's just like sitting there doing it all. Oh my God. And it's so epic. Like Jensen Ackles at the end doing Eye of the Tiger and Baby is just like epic. It's epic. Yeah. It's amazing. All right. And then let's see. Number 10 is Time for a Wedding. This is the one where Becky makes Sam take the love potion and marry her. Oh my gosh. I think this episode is hilarious. I'm like laughing just thinking about it because I just think it's so funny how crazy Becky was. Like, she was so crazy. She legit gave this man a love potion and then tried to tie him up in the bed so he wouldn't leave. Like, that is insane. Isn't it funny? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And then I just love, he's like, what did you do to me, Becky? What did you do? Why is my shirt off? Oh my gosh. And then when he tells Dean that he's getting married, and he's like, I'm in love. He's like, you're what? Oh, it is such a great episode. It is such a good episode. It's wonderful. And Garth is in it. And I love Garth. And I love DJ. Yes. I know, right? It's the funniest part. The funniest part is when he calls him. And every time I watch that, I think of the time when Dean says it later. You know, when those two girls try to like get the... I forgot which... Was it the... It was like the Black Grimoire or something, right? It was the Black Grimoire. Those two girls were trying to get the Black Grimoire, and they like enchanted him with like a love potion or whatever they did. And Dean said the same thing to Sam. And I just think it's hilarious. Yes, it's so funny. It's so funny. And he's like, I'm in love. He's like, what? And it's like the same thing in each episode. Oh, it's so funny. But yes, Time for a Wedding is such a good episode, and it is so funny. All right, so 9 is Monster at the end of the book. And this is the one where, yes, okay. Sorry. This is the one where they figure out that they are in a book series, that they are literally like a book series. And this is the one where they think like Chuck's a prophet, and then like they go, oh my God, it's so funny. I love that episode mainly because we see Rob Benedict, and I think that's like the first time we see Rob Benedict. And as we all know, I think everyone knows, Rob Benedict is one of my most favorite people in this whole entire world. So yes, but yeah, it's the monster at the end of the book. Yep, it's when they realize that their whole life is a comic book named Supernatural. And they track down the writer, Carver Edlund, and he explains that he has visions of the brothers, and that's how he writes, which is so funny. But yes, I love it. But we all know that I love Rob Benedict, so that is why that is on there. And I do think it's really funny when they go in. Oh, and I also think one of the funniest parts of that episode is when they like go to Carver Edlund's, like, it's not his office, it's like his house, right? And that girl's there, and she's acting like she's like the biggest fan, and she starts asking them all these questions about like Supernatural, and and they're like answering all of it, and she's like, oh, okay. Like, she didn't expect them to know everything, but it was like them. And oh my gosh, so funny. So funny. All right. But yes, and then number 8 is a great episode. It is Dog Dean Afternoon. This is one of the best episodes ever. I really do think it is. It is so funny. And again, Jensen Ackles is just hilarious. He is just so good at acting, and he's literally acting like a dog. Like, it's so, and I just don't understand how good he is at it. You were watching that last night. It's, oh my gosh, it's so funny. And my favorite part is when he's like yelling at the pigeon and then everyone's like looking at him and Sam's like, come on. And he's just like, oh my gosh, it is hilarious. It is so funny. That is my favorite part. That is literally my single favorite part, is him yelling at the pigeon. It's so funny. Oh, and then I love the end where he's like talking about like dogs and cats and like maybe like conquering the world or something. And then it like ends. Oh, that is just such a great episode. Yes, it is. It is a wonderful episode. It's such a good episode. Oh my gosh. And then, let's see. Okay, so number 7, of course, this is a classic funny episode of Supernatural. It is Changing Channels. Yes. Changing Channels is so funny. And this is the one where Gabriel was like putting them in all of these different like scenes, and they had to do like the Dr. Sexy scene, and then they had to do the commercial. And then you know which commercial I'm talking about. Yes, I know. I love Changing Channels too. It is so funny. And then they had to do like the game show where they got hit in their crotch. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, it's such a great episode. And I'm just trying to think of all the different, they're in that like sitcom one. They're in oh my god, they're in like the CSI one. Oh, that one is so funny. Oh, so funny. I love that episode. But yeah, it's one of the like classic episodes of Supernatural, like the classic funny episodes. It's like always funny. Yes. And then number 6 is another funny episode, although it does get sad at a certain point. It does get very sad at a certain point. But it is a classic episode. It is Mystery Spot, which is perfect to talk about today. I actually posted about it earlier on Instagram, because it's Groundhog's Day, and you know, in Mystery Spot they do the whole like Groundhog's Day thing where he keeps waking up and then like on the same day. And it's so funny because last year Groundhog's Day was on a Tuesday. This year it's on a Wednesday. Yes, Mystery Spot is so good. Did you know that there's like, that place is real? Like, there's actually really like a mystery spot, like, I don't know what it's called, like a museum or whatever it is, like attraction, excuse me, but that is real. It's real. Like, the Mystery Spot is a real like tourist attraction, and so now I just really want to go so bad. I don't remember where it is, but oh my gosh, it just looks so good. It looks so fun. But yes, I love Mystery Spot. It is hilarious. I love all the ways Dean dies, because it's funny. You said you didn't know that was a place. Yeah, I know. I didn't either until I like was looking it up one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is an actual place. That is so cool. I really want to go. And you're right. I would never go there on a Tuesday. Never. It would have to be a Wednesday. Yes. No, I would never go there on a Tuesday. But yeah, I think my favorite, I think it's so funny how Dean dies every time. And one of my favorite scenes is the scene where they're like talking in unison, and they're like, I don't even remember what they say, but it's so funny because they're like, Sam Winchester cries during sex. Oh, it's so funny. I love that part. And then I love the part where, I just love every single time he dies from something ridiculous, because it's so funny. It's so funny because it's just so ridiculous. And I think my favorite one, I think it might have been the tacos. I just think the tacos are so funny. Or the like, when he electrocuted himself. No, okay, I'm changing my mind. I think the funniest one is when he electrocuted himself. It is so funny. And it's also funny when he slips in the shower. It's like, who would do that? Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. But the reason it's low on the list, not low, it's number, what did I put it at? Number 6. So it's not super low, but the reason it's like lower is because it does get really sad there for a second. Like when he really thinks that Dean dies for good, like it does get very, very sad. And you said your favorite was when he died in the shower. It's so funny. It's just like so random. And then he makes like the funniest noise and it's just like, thump. That's like it. Oh, it's so funny. It is. That is a funny way. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, there is like a part where he really thinks that Dean dies. And it's really sad. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this is heartbreaking. And then yeah, it's so sad because then, and it's sad because like Gabriel made him think he like woke up on a Wednesday, he was super excited, and then he just killed Dean all over again, and it was so sad. And so yeah, it does get super sad, and you don't expect it because it's so funny in the beginning. It's like hilarious, and then it gets like really sad, and you're like, "What is happening?" And then yeah, it's crazy. They do that a lot in these funny episodes. They make them like really funny, and then it's like, "Oh, but now let's sprinkle in some sadness here." It's like, okay. Isn't there enough devastating storylines in this show? Give us something. I'm just kidding. There are episodes that are just funny and that's it. Number 5 is one of my favorite episodes ever. ever. Oh, it's so good. It is Peace of Mind. It is the one where Sam and Cass go to that like 50s town, and then Sam turns into like the brainwashed person. Yes. Oh my gosh, it is one of my most favorite episodes. I just think it's hilarious. I think it is just so, I just think it's one of the best episodes ever. I think it's wonderful. Like, it's so good, and it's so funny because Sam is just like a totally different person, and you're just like, what is happening? And then he tries to kill Cass. And then in the bloopers, if you've ever watched the bloopers, Jared actually kisses Misha. It's really funny. So funny. But yeah, that is one of my most favorite episodes, and I just think it's hilarious because Sam is just this, he's like, you better get out of here, mister. And it's like, what? Who are you right now? Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I just think it's so funny that they like didn't have cell phones, and then like he's like, and then that one guy, like her husband before Sam, he's like, I had a wife and a child, and then his like head just explodes. Like, oh my gosh, it is such a good episode. So it's one of my favorites. It really is. And then number 4 is an episode that is funny all the way through, and that is Scooby Natural. Yes, a classic funny episode of Supernatural. Scooby Natural is such a good episode. It is so funny. And I think one of my favorite parts of Scooby Natural is when Cass, when they're already in Scooby-Doo, right? Like they're already in the Scooby-Doo universe. And then Cass comes into the bunker, and when he was talking about, he was trying to get, I forgot what he was trying to get, but he was trying to get something for a spell, and he's like, I went to the tribe of da-da-da, and I got it, but I think I might be married to their princess now, or something like that, and I lose it. I lose it every time. Yes, you love that part too. I lose it every time, because it's just so funny. It's so funny, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, Cass is just wonderful. He's hilarious. But yeah, Scooby Natural is great. It is so funny. And I love at the end when when Dean, they're like all watching the guy get arrested, and he's like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those pesky kids. And Dean gets so excited, and he's like, he said it. And then he goes, oh, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. He's like, what? And Cass is like, yeah, you're not a talking dog. Yes, it is such a good episode. That crossover was perfect. And I'm so glad that they did an episode like that because it was amazing. Yes. All right. Number 3. Okay, so these next 3, let's see. Yes, these next 3 are my actual, they are funny episodes, but they are also my favorite episodes. Some of my favorite episodes of Supernatural. Like, if I had to pick a top 3, it would probably be these episodes. And they've kind of always been my favorite. So number 3 is fan fiction. I love this episode. I know all of the words to all of the songs that they sing in the musicals. I have like a whole playlist on Spotify with like all of the songs. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. I love it so much. I love that episode because, again, the music is amazing. It is really amazing. And I love it when they walk in and they're talking about, like, he's like, oh, they're playing Carry On My Wayward Son. And they're like, yeah, it's a classic. And Sam's like, oh, I never really liked it. Oh my gosh. Right? Fan fiction is such a great episode. I just think it's perfect. And I love, as you'll see for my top 3 episodes, I love when like it's like the fourth wall, right? I love when they just like tear it down and they're just like, and it's just like, you know, Supernatural, and they have to like deal with themselves being in this like fandom, which is, you know, because it's like the fourth wall and they're in the fandom and then they're talking about the fandom in the show, and then you know what I mean. I love that, and you will see that in my last 3 episodes. But anyway, I love fan fiction. It's amazing and it's so funny, and I love when she's like, subtext. Yes. Oh my gosh. And Dean's like, I'll sub it. I forgot what he said, but I'll sub your text. And then he's like, they need to be farther apart. They're just friends. I love SDL, so that's not me saying that. That's just me reciting what Dean was saying. But yes, that is such a great episode, and it is so funny, and it's one of my most favorite episodes in Supernatural. I love it so much. All right. Number two is The Real Ghostbusters. I told you. I love it. And I love it because they're at a convention and it's so funny. And I also love it because one of my favorite quotes is said in this episode. My favorite quote is, this is my favorite quote. When Chuck was on stage and he was talking, and he was just talking and talking because he couldn't let them out because there were like ghosts out there, and Sam and Dean were still trying to get them. And so he was trying to keep everybody in for as long as possible. And he's on stage and he's like, I lost my virginity at 16, but then she went around telling people that it didn't count. It's the Virgin Mary. I literally that made me laugh so hard. It is my favorite. It is one of my favorite scenes in Supernatural. I lose it every time I watch it because I'm just like, oh my gosh. I think it's so funny. Cause this was before people knew he was God, even though like Eric Kripke had kind of like planned it. I think I told that story last time when Rob Benedict thought Eric Kripke told him he was going to be God, and then he's like, oh, so I'm going to be back, and then they were like, no. So this was before everybody knew he was God, and so I thought that line was so funny, and it was so sneaky because they just kind of put it in there, you know. Oh, it's great. It's a wonderful line, but it's such a funny episode, and I love it. And yes, I love it. Yes, it's such a good episode. All right. Number one. Number one. My number one is also my favorite episode of Supernatural, and that is the French Mistake. Yes, the French Mistake is my favorite episode of Supernatural. I love the French Mistake. I think it's the funniest episode of Supernatural. I think it's one of the best episodes of Supernatural. I love the French Mistake. I could watch it all the time. I watch it when I'm in a bad mood because it really just makes me laugh so hard. Yes, the French Mistake is so good. And see, like I said, I like the episodes where they just take the fourth wall out and it's just like, it's just there. And I love when they walk in and he's like, I'm something called a Jared Padalecki. I'm like, oh my God. And then like, one of my other favorite lines is, it's an alpaca. Alpacas are the greenest animal. I love Jen in that episode too. She's just like so funny. And oh my God. The French Mistake is a wonderful episode. And then when they try to act, oh my gosh, every time I hear the word key now, the word key just doesn't, it means something totally different to me now. Like, cause when Sam was like, you just put the key in the box, if we could just get the key. Oh my gosh, them acting out being bad at acting is the funniest thing ever. And then Misha is so good in this episode. He's like, hola, Misha amigos. Oh my gosh. And then it's so funny. It's so funny. Like, that whole episode, the French Mistake, the whole episode is just genius. It's genius. I firmly believe that the French Mistake is just genius. I really do. And okay, I'm going to go off on a tiny, tiny little tangent here. So I personally think that a lot of Supernatural episodes, and I think there's a lot of episodes that are just like genius, I think. And I'm like, honestly, like there's some episodes that are just so good. And I think that sometimes Supernatural isn't taken seriously because it's like sci-fi and fantasy and it has like, this fandom and da-da-da-da. And sometimes I think it's not taken seriously as like a good, legit, good show. And I think it should be, because I personally think that it's just like, there are just some episodes and some things that I'm just like, it's just genius. It's like, what show can make you feel all of these different feelings in almost every episode and then get you so attached to the characters and the storyline and just like, I don't know. I don't know. But that's my little tangent. Just putting it out there because I think sometimes people underestimate how good Supernatural is, and that I know I did it at one point. So like I did do it at one point, but like before I watched it, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. And I'm like, but now I'm like obsessed with it and I love it. So yeah, I just think sometimes people underestimate how good Supernatural is. And so I think there's so many episodes that are just like genius. But all right. Those were the funniest episodes of Supernatural to me, ranked. Yes. So thank you for coming along with me on that journey, because that was so fun to reminisce about the funny episodes of Supernatural. Next, we are going to talk about the monster of the week. And this week we are hunting Hellhounds. But 1 second, I actually need to plug my charger in, so give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. You're gonna see me plug my charger in. It like fell out when I was setting everything up because it's like a magnet one. And then I didn't put it back in and now I need to. Okay. Sorry, I was getting nervous there for a second. All right, so we are going to talk about Hellhounds. Although I am going to exit out of all these different tabs I have open so I don't mess with the streaming quality here as I read from the Hellhound lore of Supernatural Wiki, which they don't really come up that much. I think they come up only in like a few episodes, the Hellhounds. And I think the first one is the one with, I love this episode. It's in the beginning. Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was. Ah, oh my gosh, why can't I remember it? It's when, why can't I remember the guy's name who was the musician? And they think he sold his soul. Why can't I remember? This is really bothering me. Okay, anyway, but they thought he sold his soul, and I think that was the first time that we heard about Hellhounds, because this was after Dean sold his soul for Sam to live. And now it's saying it's coming up again. Okay. Well, all right. Well, this is Supernatural Fandom Wiki. So, Hellhounds, this is lore of Hellhounds in Supernatural. So, Hellhounds are ballistic and maniacal canines, like beasts of the supernatural world, specifically hell, which are known to serve demons, and they are described as demonic pit bull hellhounds. And they are ferocious, terrifying entities that inspire fear in humans, demons, and even angels. With time, they became tasked with collecting the souls of humans whose deals are come due, like Dean. And I was actually looking up pictures from this episode when Dean gets taken by the Hellhounds, and I forgot how sad it was, and like how because you see like Dean basically like dying on the floor, and he's like shredded up by these Hellhounds, and in Supernatural they're invisible, and so you can't really see them, and so it's like terrifying, because here Dean is just like getting like scratched up by all of these Hellhounds, and it's like something invisible, and it's just crazy. It's insane. But yes. So, and then in such circumstances, Hellhounds can only be seen by those whom they have come for. So Dean could see them. I remember that. Dean could see them. And it was making them a sort of reaper of the damned. And in the later seasons, Hellhounds are seen working for various other demons, but they're not crossroad demons, and they're usually acting as foot soldiers or guard dogs and assassins. Right, because the Hellhounds killed Joe, right? Yeah, I forgot about that, because didn't Meg like sick the Hellhounds on them? That's when Meg was like not a good person and was like not a good villain, you know? That's when, oh man, and I love Meg. I like Meg 2.0 personally. Yeah, I love Meg 2.0. Rachel Miner is amazing. But, oh man, I forgot about that. Wow, that's so funny. I'm like in the middle of rewatching Supernatural right now, because I'm actually starting to do another podcast with two other girls that I met at a con, actually. Sorry, it's telling me that the streaming is bad. I'm sorry. I'm hoping it'll get better. It's because I have like this fandom site is just like they have so many videos on it, and so I think that's why it's messing with my computer. Anyway, so yes, she did. Yeah, she did. She sicked the Hellhounds on Joe. That was such a sad episode. Oh my god, that was such a sad episode. But I was talking about something and I forgot. I was talking about Rachel Miner and Meg, and I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh well, because I can tell that the stream is not going great. Okay, it keeps telling me it's on like yellow right now, so I guess now it's green. Okay, yay. Anyway, according to Crowley, no demon knows the hounds better than him. As the demonic pit bulls of hell, hellhounds are also one of the most reoccurring supernatural creatures in the series, which is really funny because I thought that I just literally said before this that I didn't think that they were in many episodes. That's actually really funny. I didn't think that they were in many episodes, but they're one of the most reoccurring supernatural creatures. So there you go. I did not know that. That's really funny. But so those are Hellhounds, and I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about the Hellhounds coming to get Joe and Meg doing that. Man, that's so funny. I love Meg though. She's one of my favorite characters. Meg 2.0. She's great. Rachel Miner is amazing. But yeah, and I always thought it was so crazy that like only the person who was going to be like taken by the Hellhounds were seen, because like could see them, because I just feel like that'd be so scary as like Sam, watching his brother die from like this invisible thing that he can't see. Like that's terrifying. What other times were there a hellhound? Oh, wasn't there that hellhound that just like got loose from Crowley? Like Crowley had a hellhound and it just like got loose and they didn't know where it went. Like, oh my gosh, I remember that too. That was wild. That was wild. Oh my gosh. Crowley was wild. I love Crowley. All right. Now we are going to look out into the real life lore of hellhounds. And their cultural origin is Europe, so they're from Europe, and it says their habitats is the underworld. A hellhound is a supernatural dog in folklore that originates from the underworld. A wide variety of ominous or hellish supernatural dogs occur in mythologies around the world. The hellhound has been seen several times throughout history, and it is not specific to any one place, but they are commonly associated with graveyards in the underworld. The most recent sightings occurred in Connecticut, Kentucky, Louisiana, Louisiana, I love Louisiana, Ohio, and in Germany. That's wild. So like people actually see hellhounds? Huh. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, wouldn't that be crazy if that was true? Like, hellhounds come to get you. Like, if you're going to hell and they come to, like, the graveyard and get... Oh, okay. I'm done. That's really creepy. The more I say it, the more creeped out I am. All right. So, some of the myths of the hellhound. Okay, so while it is considered a bad omen, the hellhound have often helped many people as well. That's interesting. The supernatural dog was said to warn people of danger and protect them when they needed it. I didn't know that. That is interesting. The dog is often very loyal to those who call upon one and is said to be very watchful. So I guess if you call upon a hellhound, I wonder how you summon a hellhound. This is interesting. Okay, but while the creatures are often known as evil, they are not as evil as one would suggest. That's funny. That's cool, though. And says, however, encountering them was still considered a sign of imminent death. That's not as cool. So I guess, like, they're an omen of death. That's what hellhounds are in like a lot of cultures. They're an omen of death. So it says seeing a hellhound or hearing one howl may be an omen or even a cause of death. Hellhounds are called the bearers of death because they were supposedly created by ancient demons to serve as heralds of death. According to the legend, seeing one leads to a person's death. I've been saying death a lot. This is a lot. Okay. Sometimes it is said to be once. Other times, it requires 3 sightings for the curse to take effect. These factors make the hellhound a feared symbol of bad things that are about to happen. I had no idea. That was wild. And I got that from the fandom wiki lore page. That's really interesting. I don't know much about hellhounds because I've never really looked into them that much. I love looking into the lore of all the different like monsters and supernatural, but I haven't looked into hellhounds before, so that was actually really interesting. I did not know that about them, and that would be insane and kind of terrifying. Wouldn't that be terrifying? Terrifying if hellhounds were real and then they like if you were going to hell, they'd like come get you in the graveyard. Oh my god. Terrifying. Also, them being invisible and supernatural, also very terrifying. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, all right. So it is 7:28, which means the stream is going to end in a couple minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love these lives. I'm so happy I decided to do my podcast live. It just makes it so much more fun for me. So thank you for coming. Seriously, like it really means everything to me. And thank you so much. But yeah, so it will be ending soon. Okay. I always do that, like, okay, ending soon thing. There's like an ending soon card. We're going to put that up. Okay. All right. And then, all right. We're going to go back to the live now. Okay. But yes, thank you. And if you don't want to miss again, follow me on Twitch or Instagram at Wayward Spirit Media. And then this will be on YouTube tomorrow. So if you want to watch it again or see it, it will be on YouTube tomorrow. So follow me on YouTube, my YouTube Wayward Spirit Media. I've been like chopping up different segments of it and like putting that on YouTube too. So that's really fun. I also have like limited edition merch on Twitch, which is really cool, and I love it, and I'm probably gonna buy it. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to, because there's a hoodie I really like. But anyway, I always feel weird saying that because like I kind of like designed it, but like I still am gonna buy it. It looks really cool. But anyway, thank you again. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. And I will see you next week for the next live pod. Yay! All right. Oh, I hate saying goodbye on these things. Well, okay. Bye. I love you all. Thank you so much. Bye.